The 33-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Jones now on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. He's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Nifty running by Barkley there on 1st down. He scoots forward for 7 yards, sets him up nicely. 2nd and 3. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jones operating from the gun. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Barkley 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, nope. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't. Kill. 47.
Prescott from the gun. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Dancing to his left. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Defensively, mission accomplished. And now with under 3 to go, they may be the last team holding the football.
They may very well be the last team holding the football, unless, of course, you're facing a group that is really aggressive offensively and may want to take a gamble. But theoretically, you've done your job now. You should get the ball back on a punt, but I'd be alert for a fake.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. On the run, it's Barkley. Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Giants have taken the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Prescott to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants 16. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Leonard Williams in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll look to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1. It's tempting to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Let's go. Ready.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get in the field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Prescott to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think it'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They'll keep it on the ground. Barkley. And some room to work. There he goes right side. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this